Hello. How's everyone doing? Hello. How's everyone doing? Hello. How's everyone doing? Oh, thanks, Sorceress Inks. Hi, Yeti. Hi, Arrows. Thank you all for coming. I'm so happy to see you all here. Oh, thanks, Sorceress Inks. Hi, Yeti. Hi, Arrows. Thank you all for coming. I'm so happy to see. Why, hello, Clydesdale. Hi, Napbird. Hi, Mr. Arbachu. Do I sound okay for everybody? I want to make sure that. Oh, I've got an echo? Oh, no. Let me try and correct this. Hmm. Do I still have an echo? Why, hi, Sycophant. Thank you for telling me. Hi, Tamatobe. Hi, Whitehead. WA, sorry. Just let me know if I'm still echoing, if I'm too loud, if I'm too quiet. I have a I, I have a habit of speaking really loudly, so it can be, I have to be like kind of conscious of that. So I just let me know if I'm like blowing out your eardrums right now. I'm so happy to have all of you here for my debut. It really just it means the world to me to have all of you present, um, and I'm super excited to be able to share today with you all. And I'm super happy that I'm going to be able to show everybody one of my favorite games tonight, in addition to one of my like second favorite games. Um, so, for everybody who's here, my name's Obsidia. I am a Death Knight. This is my fabulous throne room. You can see that's the chair where I like to kick my feet up, and I like to decorate this with all of my little trinkets from other games and stuff that I've defeated over the years, and enjoy looking for them to figure out which is which. They all have a little bit of sentimentality to me. And this was made by an amazing artist whose name is at the bottom of the screen, Bunny Bear. I met her on Fiverr, and she is amazing. Uh, so I know that like a lot of the time for these, there's like a kind of an explanation. I know. Hey, Anna Chris, I am a VTuber now. um, and so oh, yay. Thank you, Eros. I'm glad there's no echo anymore. So, with that in mind, I know that people usually have like a little bio briefing time about themselves. So, if you have any questions for me, I'm totally happy to answer anything you may have. If not, we can always just proceed right along to the game. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I'm really glad that they directed you to me. Hi, 92 GA Bird. Or, yeah, Bird. It's not Bid. um, I I am not a senior. I am a well-aged Death Knight, uh, centuries of service. Um, oh, hi, senpai. Um, so I'm really happy that everybody was able to find this. I had a bit of a problem setting up my second monitor due to a elaborate, somewhat hilarious chain of events. I am not a boomer, and I see these attacks. And so, unfortunately, I have to use my phone right now for reading the chat log. So I'm going to do my very best to stay on top of it. But if I go too long without seeing you, please, I guess just message more. It might have just slipped by. So some little information about myself. Blue is one of my favorite colors, as well as black. Hence why all of this is set up in the way it is. Um, the little winged skull guy, that's Termy, which is short for Terminus. And he has been my faithful companion for several centuries. Oh, hi, Schmendrick. Thank you for coming. Um, my halo is actually, I gained it when I finally was able to ascend to becoming a full Death Knight. Um, because when you reach that kind of level of magical power, you kind of become a little conduit for souls. And so some of them think you're an angel. I think this may be a part of why that's deceptive to some of them, but I like it. It keeps me company. And although the spinning can get a little frustrating when I try and lay down, but I'm not a boomer. It's desperate times. There were many cords that were ordered to try and set up a second monitor, and it just did not work out. Hopefully, by next time, I will actually have a second monitor set up, and I won't have to look down at my phone. But, desperate times call for desperate measures. Well, your friend has good taste, Arrows. Termy is an excellent name. Um, Terminus is my faithful companion who likes to fly around me and occasionally hold up chat boxes. It's a really versatile little skull. Some say necromancy is a gateway to many abilities some would consider unnatural. Yeah. HDMI ports, as I don't understand why I have so many display ports, but only one HDMI port on my graphics card, and yet only one HDMI cord between two different monitors. I'm just a hot mess when it comes to technology. That's why I like to stick to necromancy. Keeps things a lot simpler. I have a bit more control over it. But thank you guys so much for being here. Uh, since there are a lot of you present, I think I'm going to start up the first game of the evening. So I'll be switching windows here to a handy dandy different window. All right, time for you to load up. Ta-da! Let me know if anybody's having any problems seeing it. Yes. I am a hot mess when it comes to tech. That does not make me a boomer. That just makes me bad at being me. Yeah, you bring up a good point, Yeti. So one of the things I've noticed as I decided to do Othercide as my first game of the stream was that a lot of people don't actually really know about it, and which I think is a shame. It's a really amazing indie game, and it is kind of the first thing that drew me to it was the cool art style, because it's got this whole like black and white and gray with notes of red to it, and it's like that the whole game. That is the color palette. Um, Let me know if you have if the game is too loud or too quiet for you guys. I thought I had it pretty well balanced. Oh, that's cool that you have it, Smendrick. I really recommend playing it. So it's by Focus Home Interactive. It came out last fall, and it's set up as a kind of XCOM meets roguelike, and it deals with like a lot of cool artistic styles for the way it renders its monsters and everything. So I think the best way to approach this is to just start up a new run for you guys so we can all share this together. So you have two game modes that you get to pick from. There's the lame one if you want to play this like an easy mode. And then there's the one where you get to suffer and be mad at yourself. And I think the obvious choice is being mad at yourself. So we're going to go with Nightmare, where things have real consequences. So there's a lot of these little title screens for loading things. I have subtitles on also. Hi, Firewolf. You know, fun is mandatory. I'm sorry. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by, Ramshackle. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
He needs us. The other has come for the Chosen One, and soon the veil will break. The suffering cannot continue.
Yeah, the percentages to hit in this game are less. You're pretty much guaranteed unless somebody has a dodge score, so you don't deal with as much of the silly XCOM.
Suffering festers within him. The edge of reality frays. Each battle takes more and more out of me. The other could shred the veil and devour our world. Will you stay with me until the end? I'll give what I can, what I have left. Let it go here and no further.
I will try to keep my gamer age in check. I've thankfully I've played a lot of this game before, so like I'm more prepared for the suffering I'm about to experience.
Watch, my friend. Once I move to strike, the first will fall.
So it gives us a little tutorial to start with to get you used to it. So this is how the game is set up. Basically, it uses these grid squares, and yeah, so it uses all these grid squares, and you have a given number of action points, which are present here at the AP level, and they will. Yep, I'll send them all to the Cal Zone. uh, And so your AP is what's going to be divided between your movement and your attacks. So you have to be careful about how you balance it. In addition, you've got your initiative score at the bottom of the screen. And so this is the scaling of when different people are going to go. And so it's important that you have better initiative than all the bad guys because that allows you to take them out before they take you out. And since everything's pretty much a guaranteed hit in this game, people are going to get taken out. All right, so it's giving us some directions on where to move. Follow the tutorial.
The other sends more against us.
So you've got these attacks that cost a given number of action points per time. It's important that out of this 100, if you ever drop below 50 action points, it starts negatively affecting your initiative, which can get problematic because you can have enemy attacks that hurt you and also drop your initiative score more. So, as you know, this is explaining. Hi, Leopard. Thank you for coming by. All right, turn. Now we enter the fun world of delayed abilities. As it explains, there's abilities that basically activate at different initiative points. Oh, hi. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, Canada, when? Thank you for coming by for the 40K Discord. Oops, I don't want to move. All right. So in this, we're basically doing the prologue of the game right now by doing the tutorial. So this game has a really interesting story because it takes place basically after probably another game ended and the good guys lost. So there was the world itself is told to you in a non chronological way over the course of the campaign. Um, and uh, and so you unlock these things called memories over the course of the campaign, and they'll give you little tidbits about uh, the mother's life back before everything went into this twisted unreality we live in now. And you kind of learn about them in an entirely random order because it's all about when uh,
Fear not. I
when you
can
kind of
stop
meet the
the attack before it
prerequisites
happens.
of the given memory. So we start off with the mother here as the last little bastion against unreality after it's already kind of consumed the world. And unfortunately, spoiler alert, it's not going to work out too well for her. And yes, Leopard, I am in fact a girl. Yeah, I love the attack animations in it. And as you get more damaged and stuff, your characters start getting these like blood marks on them, as kind of their grasp on reality is fracturing in its own way. See the burst? That's what I was talking about. If you go below 50 points, you have more action points available, but you're going to run into the issue of really messing up your initiative. So when you decide to break your initiative, you have to be really careful about what can happen next. So if you think you can alpha strike your enemy, then it's totally okay to burst. But if you're not too confident about it, it's probably better to be a little more conservative in the way you handle it. Doop, doop, doop.
Gift gives me such strength.
So, as you can tell, the mother is kind of a really cool lady. She really has all of the abilities from all the different character classes you're going to one day get. Because at a certain point, you're going to deal with uh, basically you creating a series of memories to fight back against unreality. And so you basically harness aspects of the mother to form the characters you're going to have in the campaign known as your daughters. Man, if there was a Thomas the Tank to take all these hits for me, I think it would really help me out. It'd probably be an entirely different game. If I won in the tutorial, man, I'd give this game 10 stars. Let's see. Do I want to... I don't think he can jump me. Usually when a monster spawns... Oh, I forgot about this guy. Awkward! Usually when a monster spawns, they get like one turn where they can move, but they can't attack you. Hi, Fuzzball! Thank you for coming by! Yep, definitely totally not referring to myself. Yeah, one of the things... this is not good. I can't remember if I actually... If I keep fighting these and at a certain point they just get... They like beat me up to a point that I can't fight anymore. Or if at some point there's just going to be a staged boss fight. I do not remember. Slash! But yeah, and it's got this really cool like Victorian kind of feel to the horror aesthetic of it. So like all of the monsters, like this guy is like a plague doctor with like a shield and a scythe. And it makes sense because over the course of the story, you find out that basically one of the reasons why reality collapsed was because there was this very powerful child who got possessed by the spirit of suffering. And so suffering materialized itself by creating a nightmare scape of the things that haunted the child in life. And so every monster slash every boss are different things that haunted the child in his life. And so you're basically trying to work through um, his own kind of traumas to try and get to him to try and beat back suffering. And one of the other things, let's see if I can do this and make an attack. I can't. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Um, one of the yeah, the street designs are a lot like Bloodborne. I think there's only so many Victorian horror streets out there in the universe. There's like one architect probably who makes them all. Uh oh.
He is here, the chosen one. I don't want to harm you, little one.
The on-screen chat is scuffed. Oh no.
But we want to harm you.
Let me see if I can fix the chat. Oops, that was a misclick.
I have failed. You most of all. I fought with every bone and sinew. All I am, I leave to you. Take it. My blood is my legacy. May it spill forth into an army to rend suffering from its host.
Child. Ah, the puns begin. This is the real suffering. Okay, I think I fixed the chat issue, so it should start scrolling up, I think. Obviously, Firewolf, there is a choice here, and it's forget what you're downloading.
Destroyed a city. It's not enough. How soon will you hatch? I want you in this world. I want to see what you can do. To those that hurt me. To those you will hurt. I can't wait.
Oh no, the puns are starting to come. Scary. Forget the horror game. Whew.
Do not despair. My life lights your path. Do you remember our journey together? This time, let me guide you. You will wield my memories like a sword, and with them, grow our army.
It's okay, Eros. I appreciate that you're on your phone so that I can dodge that bullet for now. Just kidding. So yeah, it turns out the superpower of this game is our ability to remember stuff. So uh, the way the game goes is you're going to go through various runs of the game, kind of like any real roguelike. And as you
This
do...
dark corner of existence is a harbinger. Soon all will follow. The very fabric of our reality is threatened. My last breath is near. My daughters, you are of me. Put an end to suffering.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I keep forgetting about the cutscenes. Yeah, I know. They put subtitles to everything in this game, so I have subtitles for subtitles, basically. Um, But no, I'm not a big time VTuber, and I will still
On
be
this side
available.
of the
I'm
veil,
still a lady of
I
the
can give
people.
you my daughters, birthed from my soul. You will need them to
Well,
fight.
thank you for coming by, Chris. I really appreciate it.
What will you remember now?
Yes, Master Fail. We've got subtitles for subtitles. Okay, so, but yeah, so the game's like a roguelike. So as we proceed through this, our girls are going to take damage, um, and the only way to heal them is, since we're playing in the real game mode, the only way to heal them is we have to sacrifice another daughter of equal or greater level to be able to heal them. So you're gonna, and when they're dead, they're just dead. Uh, so that's unfortunate. We're gonna use this stuff called Vitae, which allows us to make more daughters. No, no, no. I'm just a me. I'm really happy that so many people showed up. That's what I focus on. And then you guys can share this with me. So, when the daughters die, they're dead. They're gonna go to the graveyard and they'll stay there until we get these things called resurrection tokens, and we use these to try and bring back some of the daughters that we like and or are stronger over the course of it. You can bring back your daughters from previous runs, so it can be helpful. In my other game, I had one daughter who was with me from like my first run through my 12th run. She was basically a quote unquote bad bitch by that point in the game because she'd been around so long and seen so many people around her fail, and keeps coming back for more. And as we do more runs, oh no, you got blue screen. Well, hopefully it fixes itself. Uh, and so as we do these runs, we're going to get points, which we can use to buy upgrades for future runs. So that's how it's going to kind of work out. Since we're working off of the memories of the mother, and she could kind of do everything. Uh, no, it doesn't really count if the people here are also the ones in Yuko's. So don't say ill about Yuko. Uh, I love that little small wolf with all my heart. uh, so since everybody's a shard of the mother, they're divided into three different classes. There's the Blade Master, who's our big sword girl, the big sword goth GF. There's the Soul Slinger, which I found out I was saying wrong for the last several months. I thought it was Soul Singer, and I was like, oh, that's really creative. But no, it's like Gunslinger, but with souls. And she's basically she's the one ranged character we have, and she has a lot of like battlefield control kind of abilities that supplement the other heroes. And then there's also going to be, so this is when we birth a new daughter. It's called Germinating a Daughter. So it auto generates a name. They're generally all these things that are like positive emotions to go with the theme of the game, that you are the positivity fighting back against suffering. And so we have the ability to rename it, maybe at a later point. If you guys are willing, you could pick some names for our girls going forward. But we'll just go with Mercy. And now we get to pick her class. So Blade Masters excel in melee, Soul Singers support the sisters from afar. That is true, Eros. He's just a small wolf. I'm so much bigger than him. I have to protect him. And then there's the Shield Bearer, who's like a tank, and she also has a lot of initiative control abilities. So she's helpful to keep around, to help buff the rest of the team and to soak injuries for them.
You must stop suffering
So
from feeding. Go.
if you guys
Go
are getting
for
tired
first
of me
sign-ups.
explaining the campaign at any point, just tell me. It's just, I know it's a lot of mechanics to go through, and I just think it's kind of helpful to know. But we're going to work our way from day 1 to day 7 of a given week. At day 4, we get the reveal of who the boss of this era is. So we're going through different eras of the child's life. And so this first one is the Plague. And so we'll find out who the boss is, and then the last one is we're going to fight the boss. And if we fail at any point to kill the boss, or if all of our daughters die, then we lose. And we have to go back to a new run starting at day 1. But we will have more points to buy different upgrades for our girls to help give them a better chance of success the next time around. So as we're going through this, we're going through various synapses, which are the strands of trauma that connect the suffering to the child and the child's particular monsters to him. Oh, thank you so much, T-Dog. Oh, I really appreciate it. Oh, Sorceress Inks waifu. This is a stream that we welcome all waifus. So feel free to bring your waifus. I won't steal them. I will just simply spread more love to everyone here. So we got to work our way through the synapses, and every time we do a synapse, we're going to get some points, some era points to buy upgrades, and our girls that participated are going to get some XP. So let's do this hunt. And a hunt is basically you got to kill all the enemies. There's other game mission modes. Are those suggested names from Eros and and Fuzzball? Oh, all right. We'll have the grandma team over there, Meredith and Agnes and Edna. Unfortunately, there isn't like a knitting class for our girls, but I think we'll try to come as close as we can. So we got Providence, Mercy, and Belle.
Take away his tools of torture.
Oh, sorry, Yeti. You should, it's only a matter of time before she succumbs. This is the quote-unquote VTuber uprising, hashtag.
Ambition. How many more?
Okay, so first we're going to try and scope out how many bad guys are on the map right now. So we've got 2 cursed therapists, and we have a plague doctor. So the plague doctor is a pretty straightforward, melee component. We can also check out what abilities they have by pressing V, and it'll show, oh, he's got a base attack that does 400. These auto hit unless you have dodge. And then that's all he does. He just moves and he attacks. The cursed therapist is a ranged character who moves. He does a shot at close range if you're too close to him. And, oh, thank you so much, Fuzzball. I'm really happy that I'm able to finally debut. It was a heckin' long process to get to this point, and I'm super excited that I'm here and that I'm getting to do this with you guys, and that, in theory, you guys are liking what you're seeing so far. Oh, it's okay. Not everyone's good at coming up with names. We could have Boblin the Goblin as one of our girls. So the Cursed Therapist, their main thing that they do is they have this massive shot ability, which is just it's one of those delayed abilities that we saw in the prologue, and it just does a lot of damage when it hits you. Oops. My bad. Okay. So our first girl is Providence. She is our Soul Slinger. So this white area is her safe movement to stay within her initiative set. If we go into gray, that means she's going to be overloaded, called the Burst, and that's going to basically take away from her initiative going forward. Her attacks do 84 damage 3 times. So to kill a Cursed Therapist, we basically have to shoot it with 2 different attacks. Ah, yes, my daughter's Goblin. Goblin 1, 2, 3. They never said the goblins were terribly great at creating names. Also, if we click an enemy, we can see what their movement area is going to be. This is important when you're trying to set up your positioning, because if you set up your positioning correctly, you can make it so that you can stay just out of their range and kite them until you're in a better position to just straight kill them at the end. Smendrick, if I make it one of your character names, she can die, and honestly probably will, so you have to be ready to deal with that situation. In addition to playing gothic horror waifu games, I also run several Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, which is one of the ways that I know Schmendrick is. He's one of my players. So let's get Providence over behind this pillar. And I just want to make sure that it's not within his range. So he'll be there. Okay, that would be within his range. So we're going to actually do it right here. Phew, dashing. And she's going to hold tight. That's true. If they die in the game, they die in real life. I learned that as we only play with Sword Art Online rules in this household. So we're gonna start getting Belle into position because she's melee. As they get higher level, they unlock more abilities. And one of the super useful things that the Blade Master get is just like a ton of movement abilities. So she can go just like everywhere, which can be super helpful for making sure that she's constantly engaged with bad guys because she does absurd amounts of damage in melee. Now it's the bad guy's turn. Lock, stock, and 2 smoking therapists. I am very alarmed at the prospect of Lady Gaga flavored anything. I find this very problematic. So we're going to have Providence try and spread the love a little and chip away at a couple of these different bad guys to make it easier for our other people to be able to take them down. I think I do want her to burst because I feel like this initiative is going to be the one that I'm going to kill some of these. So it shouldn't be as painful. Oh, nice! Providence was able to take it down on her own. So we're going to dash her a little bit more. Bella is going to go and do a little slash. Got him.
Bitter victory. Will the poor ones
I did not know that Lady Gaga being licked was going to be such an integral part of this conversation. So we're going to stab.
Exquisite.
And we'll fall her back a little, since I don't know where the enemy is going to spawn yet. Oh, he's over there. Poker Face is pretty OG. You know, I'm also a fan of Born This Way, but I'm a little biased on that.
You can't stop progress. The cure will be found.
Yay! So it is, honestly, that first fight is pretty easy, but it is the very first fight of the game, so it's trying to get you to learn how everything works. One of the things is a lot of these heroes, they'll have passive abilities they can activate as reactions. Sugar, glitter, and musk. Interesting combination of flavors. Yay, recollections. Oh. Okay. All right, I guess I don't have a choice. We have to go to the next day before I can explain other things. Okay, so, yeah, I get it. Spacebar. See your daughter's traits, skills, everything. Blah, 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 blah. Traits. Okay, so we got our girls. This indicates that they can get a new skill. Their stats, this is their breakdown of all their stats. This is kind of meaningless as a whole. You don't really pay that much attention to it. What matters more is their traits. So your traits you get over the course of the campaign, and they range wildly. They're generally all buffs, Um, it's kind of hard to get negatives because you have to really mess up to get negatives. Hopefully, I don't get any negatives. Also, they will, depending on how you use your daughters, also determines what kind of traits they're going to gain over the course of the campaign. Like, if you have one where she just constantly getting in there, glass cannon, doing lots of damage, taking lots of damage, there's like a trait for that she'll get that'll basically increase her damage, but also make her like more susceptible to damage. So one of the things this one has is she just does flat out plus 50 damage because she's aggressive. She's aggressive because from her first steps, she has led the fight against evil. So let's get her a new skill. So these are every level you have a pick between one usually combat skill and one reaction. The reactions cause you health to be able to use them, which is why this game is so dangerous, because you know how hard it is to heal. So by using your health, you have to be fully aware of the fact that you might not get it back anytime soon. So you really have to balance that with how you're going to be using your reactions and whether it's really important enough to actually use one. These two, I love Lightning Strike because it's an engagement ability. And first of all, Techno Goth is best goth. So that's why they're all Techno Victorian Goth. So don't judge my daughters. I accept them for who they are. They all reflect me in their own ways. And so I really like these engagement abilities. So I pretty much try to buy them whenever possible. And this is one of the reasons why the Blade Master is so good, because she can just dash around. All right, so now those are her 3 abilities. So the Codex. This is the big basis of information broken down into characters, memories, and events. Characters is your displaying of all the bad guys you've encountered over the course of the game, and you get a little bit of information about them. So first we have the Red Mother. That's us. A little biased. I think she's pretty cool. And so she has her breakdown because this is all being told from kind of her perspective. So you get her describing things. That's why things are also kind of a little vague at times, because she's not the most reliable narrator. And the Red Mother is seemingly the spirit that was inside of the Mother, who was a chosen one. So she was basically created, she wasn't created, but she was born as somebody who could have the capacity to take in one of these spirits, like the Red Mother, and let it kind of possess her. But in her story, it's much more of a cooperative relationship. And she joined this organization that you saw in some of the subtitles called the Nostra Order. And their job is to protect the Veil, which is the barrier between reality and unreality. Unfortunately, didn't work out real well. So we got our shards, we've got the Blade Master, we've got the Shield Bearer, and we've got the Soul Slinger. Later on in the campaign, we're going to get a 4th one, who's kind of cool. I still can't figure out how to use her properly, but she's super neat. All right, well, I'm sorry that you're down to only low-tier puns from lack of sleep. I would recommend sleeping, but I also can't really dissuade you from watching me some more. So really, the world is your oyster. All right, so the Plague Doctor. So you get this image based on the Plague Doctor's description during this period that things were going real bad in the world as it was, with a violent plague. And so, due to tragedies befalling the child, the plague hit him and made it so that he was basically a carrier of it, and he would constantly regenerate. So he's infecting everyone around him, but not dying. And so they hated him. And that's part of the reason where the boss comes into play for this, as the people who tried to figure out the cure by doing very, very bad things to the chosen one that became the vessel of suffering. So the theme of the Plague era is Plague Doctors. So we have the Plague Doctor guy, we have the Plague Guard. I love the Plague Mask beaks. We have the Plague Butcher, which is reflecting the real dark parts of this world, where the things that befell everybody in when the plague ran a little too powerful and things seemed a little too chaotic. And I forgot, there's actually, in addition to the mother, you also hear the child's description of a lot of things. And obviously, his view is a bit tainted on what he experienced. So his are a lot darker than hers. Yep, I would say that is in fact doing the exact opposite of a doctor. There is kind of a theme throughout it that the doctors in this went crazy as the plague hit them. And so they basically began to take what was a noble intention, who would have seen that coming, and started twisting it to dark and nefarious means. I have to say, being 2D is pretty cool. In some ways, being 2D is an improvement from being 3D because uh, I think I look pretty cool. I sometimes I wish I could turn more left and right, but it's kind of the cross I have to bear for being such a beautiful two-dimensional model. Hey, if you want to do Plague Doctor Chic, that is entirely. Yep, 2D Girls Gang. Represent. If you want to do Plague Doctor Chic, I am not going to shame you. This is, in fact, I guess we're past 2020, but 2021 is still looking like Plague Doctor Chic is the wave of the future. So if you want to look natural in our post-apocalyptic plague times, then please feel free to get your finest beaked mask, high-collared coat, and your tricorner hat. I would be incredibly impressed. Well, you can do Plague Doctor Chic inside of the joy of your own house. Sometimes being the Plague Doctor isn't about others. It's about curing the plague inside yourself. That of not feeling fashionable enough. But yeah, I thought about doing 3D, but I just really like the way that 2D comes off better than 3D. Some of the 3D models, they don't. I guess they don't emote as well, in my opinion. So I'm really happy that I picked the two-dimensional version of it. I'm not no villain energy, only love energy, mildly threatening love energy. You know what, Eros? When you're beautiful enough, you don't have to look around corners. People will look around corners for you. Mm-hmm. So then we got the scavengers.
Remember.
So the remembrances, this is going to be what we use to get our buffs going forward. We have to unlock all of these by doing things like killing a certain number of bad guys, by doing a certain number of damage, defeating bosses, etc. And they will give us various buffs that we're going to activate. Like this one is going to give us 2 memories. So if we go back to the Codex screen, we have memories. These are the mother's memories of her life and her moments from childhood to the end of the world. And so we have to unlock them all during the game. Currently, I have, as you can see, 0. And they will appear in a random order, and when I unlock them, I'll read them to you, just to give you that fully immersive mother experience, because unfortunately, while we have subtitles for subtitles, we do not have narrators for narrators. Alright, so I activate the damaged left eyeball, which has a vaguely menacing description. And we're going to go check out our memories that we unlocked. So we got Rush and Drill. So Rush. This is from the Age of Shattering, 1219. Chapter 1, page 13. The wind whips at my face as I dash around the large oak tree for the 13th time, collapsing in a breathless heap on the ground. Warm laughter fills the air, and from beneath the tree, the guide speaks with a bemused lilt to his voice. What happened, little magpie? Yesterday you ran around it 5 more times. If I am to convince those Nostraheads to send you along to their esteemed swordsman, you ought to be able to do a few laps. Now up you get. My lungs burning, I get up again, but not before throwing a fistful of grass in his direction. Oh, thank you so much, Tama. I really appreciate that. I'm super self conscious about my voice, so that really means a lot to me. So now we're going to go to drill. Chapter 2, page 2. Age of Shattering, 1221. Fingers dug harshly into my shoulder, yanking me to my feet. I wanted to scream, or cry, or perhaps both, but I gritted my teeth and did neither. If there's still air in your lungs, you fight. You put one foot ahead of the other. Move. My master's hand pushed me hard in the back, forcing me to walk while my legs quaked in protest. You are 100% right, Eros. That is what I do. I cuddle and hug to death. And then you get to join me in Undeath. It's really a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to go back to our daughters, and we're going to buy abilities for everyone else. Once again, Shield Bash and Blacksmith Grace. Blacksmith Grace I don't think is super good. It gives you more armor, which is nice because that reduces the damage you take. But it does cost 5% of her HP to activate. So I think I'm just going to go with Shield Bash. I don't really like Shield Bash, but I think it's somewhat more useful than Blacksmith's Grace. And it's cool. The game does give you little demonstrations of how the ability works, so you know somewhat of what you're getting yourself into. Man, that is a very old reference, Schmendrick. I remember that because that was Looney Tunes, wasn't it? With the Hug and Calm George. You know what, Yeti? Who knows? Maybe that is why Turby glows blue from too many Lady Gagas in life. Some would say there's no such thing as too many Lady Gagas. Oh, that's awesome, Tama. I'm so glad. I'm really happy that you're having a great experience with it so far. I'm not gonna lie, I was incredibly nervous coming into this, if you couldn't tell from the start. And so it really helps that everybody here has been so engaged and so silly and so supportive. I'm so happy that I get to have all of you here. I'm really excited to do this. Today is day 1. I'm hoping to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedules. So if people ever want to stop by, you're more than welcome to come. So I think it's a good idea for us to create a couple more daughters. That way, in case anybody dies, as well as in case we get multiple synapses, when you do a synapse, you basically get rested afterwards. And so they can't do anything. So, but you can still do other synapses. So if you have another team of daughters, they can also run on it. Those who, yeah, I'm not sure what the plural of Lady Gaga's is in candy form or Oreo form. Um, but I think Lady Gaga's is probably the right one. I maybe that somebody should probably send her like a letter to gauge that. Lady Gaga, if we were to eat you in Oreo form, do we make the plural as Gagas or is it Gagi? I don't know how Latinized her name may be. Oh, I'm glad you like RPG form. I have a better RPG, or I guess more RPG planned for the future. This is more of like the tactical RPG, I guess, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Aw. Termy is a little nervous. You know, he's just a little skull. He's just a little
Give
guy.
life to our daughters.
All right, so Celeste is a good name, but I think we're gonna go with Mildred.
Please, guide her well.
Ah, Gagiai, like the proud Triorii, and there you go. Not if when. All right, we're gonna get a second Blade Master because Blade Masters are good, and they also
Now,
tend to die a lot
unleash
because,
her on
you know,
any who
melee
stand in her way.
and squishy. And then I'm gonna get another one just so I can have another Soul Slinger because they're
Give
kind of
life
what I
to our
view.
daughters.
And we're gonna have Mildred. Let's go with a Gertrude. This is gonna be Kill
Please,
Team Granny.
guide her well.
Oh, she's got such a cute little haircut.
Now, unleash her on any who stand in her way.
You know, it's funny you say Termy fan art. There was one of the things that I was debating when I was first creating the ideas for this character and everything was I want to do an artwork of just Obsidio holding Termy and giving him a big hug and him being a happy little skull. I think it would be adorable. Oh, I still have. Oops. Ah. I still have somebody who can learn a skill? I thought I picked. Oh, I didn't think I picked. Wait a minute. Oops. Ah,
Remember their courage.
sorry. Technical difficulties. They lied to me. I did not have a new skill to pick from. I feel bamboozled. Oh, hi, Lily. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm happy to have you here. I'm trying to keep things really upbeat and peppy, considering we're dealing with death, destruction, and suffering. So I feel like it's a good kind of compromise to keep things balanced. Ooh. True. I'm not going to tell you how coherent you have to be. That's it's you to do whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster. So our two game modes is Hunt Impossible, which is the game mode we played previously, but with just way more monsters to make it that much harder. And then there's Survival Challenging, which arguably is super hard in its own right because you basically have to hold off against waves of monsters, and then you have to go to an evac point, but you don't know where the evac point's going to spawn. So that's when the real danger happens. But you know, we'll try it out. Give you a feel for a different game mode. I'm still gonna bring in our A team because Kill Team Granny isn't really complete until we get one more. So we're gonna go with Mercy, Providence, and Belle still. But don't think I've forgotten about Mildred and Gertrude.
What more must we sacrifice before the end?
I don't know what Mechan is, or Mechan.
They caught us unawares.
I'm assuming good. I'm assuming you're giving me a rave review in German.
Who did they bleed here for their precious cure?
Okay, so we got therapist down there. And then we're going to have two plague guards. I hate plague guards because they can, like, up armor themselves. Whoa, Yeti. Human sacrifice comes later. It's when the girls start getting damaged. That's when we start sacrificing people. And we got a plague guard up there and a butcher down there. Butchers are glass cannons. They just do a lot of damage, but they're not terribly tough. So I think we should try and kite this initially. So I'm going to try and move into position to shoot the butcher. Yeah, if I go... Ugh. That's unfortunate. Locked. What does being locked mean? Status locked. I'm gonna assume he can't move. I do know where degenerates like them belong, along with all the profligates. In case anybody was unaware, I really like Fallout New Vegas. I was hugely into it back in the day. And so Wednesday, what I'm going to be playing is actually going to be the Fallout mod. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming by, Tama. I really appreciate it. It was so sweet to have you here, and you are adorable. Thank you so much for coming by to support me. Have a good night. Um, so what I'm going to do Wednesday is the Fallout mod for Hearts of Iron 4, which is I'm also going to be playing with the anime mod of the Fallout mod of Hearts of Iron 4. So we're going to get full-on old world waifu action, and it's going to be hilarious. So we're going to fight up against Caesar and all those darn profligates. All right. Although I am going to be the profligates because I plan on playing the NCR. Okay. Yep, it is in fact Bloodborne Sisters of Battle XCOM. The best of all possible worlds.
Progress has its setbacks.
Yeah, I can't remember who was it in chat that told me about the Old World Waifus mod to begin with when we were first proposing doing a Hearts of Iron game. But I can't go back, really. I feel bad to play with not Old World Waifus mode anymore because it's just so much more fun. They're so cute. Anime girls do go burr. Burr. Alright. So the shield bearer, or the plague guard isn't going to be able to get to us this turn, so I think we can get the shield bearer down here. Oh, it was Yeti. You win the Gold Star Award, Yeti. Enjoy. I have bad news. I am unfortunately very bad at doing ara-aras. I tried. I really tried. I had practice recordings to see if I could do it, but I do not have an appealing ara-ara. Okay, so they're moving in on us. This is our countdown. This is how many initiative slots we basically have to go through. Well, Phil, it's going to be Fallout, so it's actually going to be pseudo-democratic waifus versus pseudo-Roman dictatorship waifus. I would say a better fight than fascist versus communist. I was very committed. I didn't want to embarrass myself because I know it's a thing. I've seen so many good RRs as I've gotten into the wonderful world of VTubing, and I was like, I gotta practice this. It's gonna come up, and I wanna not make a fool of myself. And unfortunately, I'm just not that good at it. I'm gonna have to get like an RR soundboard so I don't feel embarrassed. Alright, so I'm gonna... Ugh, that guy is not taking nearly enough damage. Oh, she gets to go again. Wonderful. I should probably check how far this guy can... No, I'm still good. Psh, whatever, arrows. Ara is adorable. Some would say, I'm not gonna lie, I think RR is probably one of the main things that draws people to come see VTubers. Prove me wrong. He moves there. Won't be able to. No. No, I'll do it. Alright, so if I do this, it will go slightly before him. So this is a delayed attack that she can do. It does a lot of damage, but it goes on a slower initiative score. So it can have its own downsides. Oh, well, Fuzzball, if I get confident enough and you all understand that I don't think it's very good, I might do an RR at some point. But don't say I didn't warn you.
The new shift has just arrived.
Will the poor one's suffering never end?
Alright, we're gonna Daka Daka. So we're gonna have another bad guy spawning over there. And then... Doesn't look like we got it. Oh, nope, we have other spawners. Where are they? There's that one. No, there's that. Oh, they're both at the very bottom. Okay, are they going to be scavengers? Usually scavengers go. Oh, nope, plate guard. That's scavenger. Usually the scavengers spawn in packs because they have like a special ability where they don't do very much damage, but if there's a lot of them, they do a lot of damage. We'll make our own VTuber agency with blackjack and hookers. Do. Little scavenger running after me. And, yep, another scavenger coming after me. It's not really a fake facade. This is me. It's just the more waifu-ized version of me. Man, a dodge, really? That's a malarkey if I've ever seen it. Well, things are looking a little spicy right now. Uh-oh. He's gonna attack me, isn't he? Oh, nope, he didn't have enough action points. Alright, we're gonna shoot him. Daka Daka. Oh, hey, Rhea! Thank you for coming by! It's going well. Everybody's being super nice. This is a no-bully zone, and people have been not bullying.
Setbacks.
Aw, I'm your favorite big sorty goth GF. This is what I've always wanted in my life. I want to get that, like, screenshotted and put on my wall. Alright, so he can move up there, so I think I'm going to burst Providence just to get her out of range of the South Plague Doctor, or Plague Guard. Oh, well, let me know if it's lagging for the rest of you guys. I'm hoping not. Whatever, I'm not a boomer. Aw, thank you, Natbird. Yeah, I don't know if it's the Twitch mobile app or if it's just me. Let's try and give this guy the old slasherino. Well, that didn't do nearly as much damage as I thought it was. Big oof. Big oof. But we love the little wolf. No bully to Graph in this channel. We love the Graph. He's a little bundle of love. Sassy little smuggler. Wow, that didn't do anything. I am really disappointed. Oh, he must have up-armored himself. Cranberries. Oh, jeez Louise, the exit's all the way back there. Ugh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Why did they have to spawn on the exit side?
The veil grows
I'm really glad you like the spinning halo. I actually specifically requested it. I was like, man, can you make it like spin? I think that'd be super cool. And it did, and I love it. I think it's so neat. Well, I'm allowed to bully them. They're bad guys. They're big bad guys. This guy still have armor. Ugh. Are you kidding me? What a bully. Let's try and shoot him again.
exquisite.
So this is gonna be where things get painful because I have to get to here and all these bad guys are gonna be attacking me. So that's not really the greatest, but we're gonna try our best here. I don't think these guys have feelings. Their feelings are bullies, so it's okay. They're big bullies. The armor buff is rude. That's my biggest sentiment. Okay. I'm debating if I want to move her because it's totally gonna wreck her initiative. But it's gonna get her closer to the exit, and I think I kinda have to do that at this point. I'm very confused how the Termy fan art is gonna be questionable. I am rather alarmed for my little guy. So I just activated, it's called Intercepting Round. So she did 10% of her damage. Uh, did 10% of her health and damage, but it has the advantage of if somebody tries to attack one of my girls, this turn, Providence is basically going to cancel the attack and also do damage to the person who's doing the attack. So it's a really cool interrupt. But it comes with a bit of a price. I've already accepted at this point that I'm going to be taking damage, so it's like, in for a penny, in for a pound. Well, you know, this outfit is not my full armor. I did have artwork of me in my full Death Knight armor with my sword and everything. But, you know, when I stream, I like to be casual. You know, I have a long, busy day, you know, conquering people, growing my army, making friends, cuddles and love to death. You know, when you have all these activities, you kind of just want to kick off the old plate mail and unwind at home. And so this is what I like to wear when I'm just chilling around the house. No, when you're undead, the cold is a less of a big issue at that point. I keep myself warm with the many bale flames around my throne room. I mean, I don't mean conquering people. I mean, spreading friendship to other people. Yeah, that's what I meant. No comment. No comment on that one. Yes, the gauntlets do stay on during stream. Interruption.
You can't stop progress. The cure will be found.
I do love my Roman history and stuff. Despite them being a pretty garbage civilization in a lot of ways, I still think they're pretty neat. 50% garbage, 50% pretty neat. Okay, so let's get Providence out of here. So now that she's in the end zone, we can have her leave. Teleport! Okay, so real talk, to put it in context, I've probably played about 2 hours of Skyrim. Um, and I got super overwhelmed because it's so open world uh, that I kind of gave up. So this is basically going to be an entirely fresh experience for me. Um, so you guys get to share all of the mistakes I'm going to be making in it. And I was thinking of going Empire because, like I said, garbage but pretty neat. So I think I'm going to go with the Empire on it, get the pseudo Roman fantasy feel. Yep, Smendrick, that means the cuddling's working. Alright, and then we're going to run away. We didn't take as much damage as I thought we were going to take this run, so I think that worked out really well, all things considered. And so now we get our debrief. Got a bunch of experience. Ooh, we got some traits unlocked. I wonder what our girl's got. Memories. Oh, we got more memories. Alright, so first, let's see what Belle got as a trait. The Plague Seeker. This one, the minions of the plague shall fear her forever. Gets plus 10% damage versus all cultist-type creatures. Nice. Oh, poor elves. And Mercy got Aware. Out of the carnage she stepped, filled with wisdom. So that's going to be good because it gives her a bonus to her initiative, basically. So that's going to be a nice plus going forward. Are you trying to imply, Eros, that if there comes a day where I have channel points, I should use them to give hugs? All right, so we unlocked some memories, so let's see what we got. Okay, so we unlocked the Witch, and did we unlock any other ones? Oh, and Guardian. Cool. So let's check it out. Prepare for a dramatic recitation. The Witch, Chapter 1, Page 4, Age of Shattering, 1217. A group of villagers were approaching our fields. Something was wrong. It was clear by the way they walked, by how they spoke among themselves. There she is, one of them shouted, pointing in my direction. The bleedin' Voidkin! Never had I seen such fury in someone's eyes, and so I fled as quickly as I could, their screams ringing in my ears all the while. Menacing. All right, and now we'll go to The Guardian. Chapter 3, Page 5, Age of Shattering, 1399. They say the Khan soldiers aren't human, you know. Don't really believe it myself. Probably some hogwash to lower their enemies' morale, I reckon. Besides, we've got the Huntress Blade. Nothing to worry about, eh? The paladin gave a hearty chuckle, nudging me in the shoulder with a wide grin. My irritation must have slipped through the cracks, for he quickly cleared his throat and corrected his posture. Oh, that is to say, ma'am, don't want you or the troops worrying none. Not that I think you're worried, what with your skills and all, and me at your side, but before he could prattle on further, I'd already boarded the ship. So there you go, those are our new memories. Let me know if you enjoy hearing things in my dramatic recitation voice, and I'll read more things to you guys. um, so we have more Vitae, so I think it's time for us to make another daughter to complete the granny team.
Give life to our daughters.
All right, so let's rename. We've got Mildred,
Please,
we've got
make her
Gertrude.
well.
Let's go with Ethel. Oops, not Ethel Cleese. I guess that would be like the the Greek version of Ethel. And we're going to make her another Blade Master, because I like Blade Masters.
Now, unleash her on any who stand in her way.
Aw, thank you for liking Dramatic Voice. I will read more things in Dramatic Voice for you then. It means so much to me hearing that, Lily. So, we're confronted with a little situation now. We have to either try and do an impossible hunt and see how many of our daughters survive, or B, we just move on to the next day and see if we get a better set of missions. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts. Let's go back. Memories recovered, correct. Okay. I think probably all things considered, we should just move on to the next day. Maybe we'll get better missions. Excuse me? Oh, I'm so sorry, Illy. I'm reading my phone, and I'm also blind. So I'm very sorry, Illy. Okay, so we have a rescue. Ugh, I hate rescues. They're very hard. We're going to send the B team to rescue. That way, if they fail, I feel less bad. Okay, so we're going to go do a nice challenging hunt. Bringing back Belle. Yeah. Ooh, poor Providence. She got really messed up last time. All right. Oh, thank you for understanding, Illy. Yeah, if I ever mispronounce any of your guys' names, please tell me.
Slip into innocent flesh.
I do wear glasses.
The plague was a tragedy.
You're right, Fuzzball. I do mean the G team.
An abomination.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by, Leopard. It really means a lot to me that you showed up here. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and hopefully you can come by another time. Have a good night. Okay, so what do we got here? We got some scavengers. We got a therapist. We got a guard. And there should be another therapist. Oh, and another guard. Yeti, you only alarm me whenever you're doing this play-by-play of the Turby fan art. Okay, so we're going to start going. Providence is best at killing the scavengers because they're pretty weak. So, can we move here and target them both? Yep. Daka. I'm not totally sure. Well, oh my geez. I didn't realize I bursted her. Oh well, I guess we're in for this. More bursting! I am very confused, Yeti, about what this fan art is at this point. I'm confused, yet intrigued. So, that guy's gonna move up, but he won't be able to get to me. Might as well have somebody here who's not charging. Alright, so that's gonna be there. I think we're gonna do a little more of the jukes. Give me the jukes! Give me the jukes! Eros. So you pronounce my name like it was written Iros, but Graf does the same. I thought it was Eros. Or maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Who am I? You remember, your pronunciation slips after the first couple centuries. Okay, so we're in a good position. So if we move to do melee with this plague dude, it's going to cost us 14. I think that's worthwhile. And we're going to slash. And we're going to click the right button. And then we're going to click slash. Yeah, the Blade Master is kind of the only one who can damage these guards because of their armor score. Eventually, I'm going to get a memory that allows me to basically get armor penetration, which is huge. Like, it's basically the best thing in the game because so many random things have armor, and armor basically makes it so you can't do anything. And nobody likes not being able to do anything. I am very alarmed at the turn poor little Turby is taking. Alright, so 41. Get him here. She's gonna do the old slungy lungy.
A clean cut.
Also, one of my goals after the stream is to set up a Discord if people are interested in wanting a location to hang out where I can give like notifications, you can talk to me, or kind of whatever you want. I was thinking about that, so like let me know if you'd be interested in that, and I will post it up once I'm done doing it. If not, I do have my schedule. I will try to keep it updated as regularly as possible, and that should give a good idea of when I'm going to run things. I also like to keep things up to date on my Twitter. Some of you may have found me from Twitter. I found many of you from Twitter. And that's been one of the best things, is just how welcoming and opening, how welcoming and open so many members of the VTuber community have been to me on Twitter. And, you know, supporting me along the way as I was kind of doing piece by piece of this setup, and getting a chance to share that and kind of getting appreciation for it. And that was a huge morale booster along the way. So once again, thank you. I do have my Twitter posted in my Steam account, in my Twitch stream account as well. So you can just click that to get a quick reference to follow me if you're so interested or so inclined. All right, Providence, let's do it. Heck this therapist. Right in the hecker.
How foolish my fears.
Okay, so I was thinking it was arrows, like an arrow, but let me know if that's not the case. Oh, poor Providence. Looks like she's gonna get beaten up. I think I'm gonna have to go burst on this one. So, ugh, it's not great. So that'll push her here. Oh, I'm gonna get another round before he gets to go again. Cool. I love when I accidentally four-dimensional chess the initiative system. So I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, I don't do any damage. That was a terrible decision. I'm just gonna have her pass. Merci. Okay, gonna lunge. Oh, that was also a bad call. I am not smart. Oh, shoot. And that was all my action points. Ugh, 330 damage. Alright, Providence. He lost his big armor buff. You can do something now. Not much, mind you, because she doesn't do very much damage, but at least it's something. Since he's the last boss we're gonna... Not boss. He's the last monster we're gonna fight, we pretty much can just go all out on him, because the initiative system doesn't mean as much now. Okay, so it's arrows. Like, arrow. Actually, I think it's like eros, like, what is that, love in Greek? I am very smart. I have many degrees in smart.
One less to plague the innocent.
Yay! We did it! Well, those girls got pretty bloodied up during that fight.
Progress.
They are looking a little rough.
Suffering has lost memory. Has this agony uncovered now?
So first, let's see what traits we got. So, ethereal frame. She lost so much. She no longer has the same cohesion. That's unfortunate. She moves a little slower, but she is tougher, which is kind of a mixed bag. See, God, I am so smart. What is that? Oh. Thanks, Ellie. So she is the only one who got traits, so let's go to remembrances. What did I unlock? Shimmering Blood. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one to get. So all your daughters gain 15% max health points, so that makes them a lot tougher. A small amount of deep crimson blood. If you were to watch the liquid slowly dripping, you would see shimmering lines swirling within. You like that, Nap? And I think I got some memories. Nope, I didn't get memories. I just got the remembrances.
Remember.
So one of the ideas I had, if you guys are very inclined towards hearing my dramatic reading voice, I have a game called Vampire the Masquerade: Coteries of New York. And it's less of a game and more of like a visual novel. So if people would ever be interested, I could have a day of streaming that where I basically read through the game and you guys can help pick what we do. And I'll try and give different voices to all the different characters to the best of my abilities. So let me know. Oh, do we want to send Kill Team Grandma on the rescue mission? It sounds pretty risky. Oh, worth a try. Come on, Ethel. Come on, Gertrude. And Mildred. Well, if you're interested in it, Ellie, I could totally be down. I already when I read the game on my own, I'm already doing voices in my head, so sometimes out loud because I'm totally not crazy. Uh,
Suffering has contorted this city upon itself.
that is true, Fuzzball. The grandmas will never get better if they're not tested. Okay, so the goal is we have a bright soul. This is a shard of hope in the overall world of suffering and pain that is the unreality that we currently reside in. So what we have to do is we have to protect her to get her to this point over here so that she can leave. Oh my god, that is a lot of words in German. Oh, well, thank you, Ellie. I will keep that in mind. In context, the Schmendrick can corroborate this, but when when I run my D&D games, I do lots of voices for the different characters, so I'm a little used to it. But it's still going to be a test, and I think it's worth a try if people want to see it. All right, now I need to rub my eyes for a second to try and read this phrase in German. Blaukraut or Blaukraut bleibt Blaukraut und Brautkleid bleibt Brautkleid. Oh, sorry, I have to do it in the dramatic voice. That was just me trying to read if I was getting it right. Blaukraut bleibt Blaukraut und Brautkleid bleibt Brautkleid. How was that, Eros? Did I get the gist of it? I tried it with the dramatic voice. It is very difficult. Alright, so I gotta get past these plague guards. We're gonna try and do a wide berth. We're just gonna zoom right past them. You go, girl! You go, girl! No, can she move farther? No, you lied to me, game. So the reason why this... Okay, good. The reason why this mode is hard is because more monsters just keep spawning every turn. And that is problematic. So let's see if we can just circumvent this whole problem. Oh, it's German tongue twister. Well, my tongue was certainly twisted. Well, I'm excited to see the fan art, Yeti, and somewhat concerned. Yeah, my 3 years of German that I did in college, you know, it's real hit or miss how much of it I remember. But I did briefly go to Berlin and to Munich, so, like, I've been to Germany. And I lived in Switzerland very briefly, but Swiss German sounds nothing like Hochdeutsch. Oh no, Mildred! You took so much damage! Oh geez, don't hit Mildred. Oh geez, Ethel. This is... I'm sorry guys, the Grandma team is, they're getting real roughed up. Alright. Alright, Mildred. Get out of there. Alright, so how far can she move? Awesome! That's the real... Oh no, it's because she's blocked in. Uh-oh. Oh no, Mildred. Mildred ain't gonna... She doesn't look like she's gonna survive this one, guys. I don't think she is long for this world. Alright, so... we're gonna see how much we can get out of here. Oh god. Mildred, no! One of my failings when I used to try to speak German was that I can't roll my R's, like, consciously. And, unfortunately, there's a lot of words that involve rolled R's. That is one way to approach it, Fuzzball. That is one way. Can we do this? Mildred? Things are not looking good for Mildred.
More of his doctors. Or should I say acolytes?
Bleed them dry.
Oh, can she get a square in? No, she stuck a square out of it. Ugh. That probably means she's gonna die. I have to get to this zone and press leave. If I can do that, they can live. Richtig? Is it richtig? Yeah, I know like a smattering of words or phrases in different languages. Like, I know how to say like 2 things in Mandarin. I know how to say like 3 things in Italian. And I know like a handful of things in Spanish. And I think I know a sentence in Swedish, but I might have been bamboozled and it's not actually a real sentence, but I was taught that it was a real sentence. Yeah, I think selling seashells on the seashore or at the seashore is a bit of a market saturation. Too much supply, probably, not enough demand. Oh, Mildred. Yep. Well, oh, Mildred, no. Rishtish is Rishtish. No, Mildred! No! At least Gertrude and Ethel lived.
Come what may, we will slow suffering's progress.
Yay, we rescued. So when you rescue one of these souls, you have the ability to either free them and you gain 400 vitae, or you can sacrifice them to get a resurrection token. At this point in the game, getting a resurrection token is probably not worthwhile. Excuse me. I know, Illy. Rip Mildred. She had a good run. She almost made it to the end of her first mission. But remember that she's never truly gone. They're all memories, and so they stick with us even after the swords have settled and the vitae has disappeared. So I think it's probably better for us to free her.
Set them free.
All right, so what did Ethel get? She's resourceful. This is actually really good because it gives you more action points. From certain defeat, victory. Now she moves like lightning. Let's check the Codex. So now we have a bright soul. They captured them, stole them from us before they were born. Save them, dear friend. Do not let the suffering other corrupt those we germinate. I couldn't bear it. The Mother. Did we discover any more bad guys? I think just for fun, I'm going to read the rest of these people too. Because I realize now that if people like me doing dramatic voices, I can do it for everything. So, the Red Mother. What really happened? I cannot say. We have exchanged our realities, my dear friend. My body is gone, but my spirit follows you. Together we can stop the chosen one of suffering. Sever the link that unites them. I offer you my memories. Shape our daughters and send them to stop suffering before it is too late. And we've got the Mother. I have lived for hundreds of years, and I have lost the taste of life during this immortal journey. My only goal was to protect the Veil, no matter the cost. Did all his pain and suffering lead me to this fateful moment? Was failure inevitable? My dear friend, we have gone through so much sorrow. Can you even remember my name? Through death, I will guide you. I am not surprised that Vampire Mommy is 9'2". Some would say I'm going to play Resident Evil Village for totally gameplay related reasons. Others would say Vampire Mommy. It's really up in the air. Nobody will know for certain. Um, but Capcom intrigued me. So we did the Bright Soul, the Blade Master. Discipline is your sword. Never back down, never back off, and slay the enemy until your blade grows rusty with his blood. The Veil must be protected by any means necessary. Protect your companions. Consider their lives above yours. Each scar is a new medal. Your shield protects the body, your body protects the soul. The Soul Slinger. Remember this. nothing counts as much as blood. May each bullet be sanctified with the blood of your enemies, and if you can, aim between the eyes. Day after day they inspected the streets, observed the sick, and drew blood. Wearing their beaked masks, each visit by these cruel volatiles added a new chapter to my suffering. I have now remodeled them in my own way, and they obey me like broken puppets. Quarantine was declared, the city gates closed forever. By trying to protect themselves, they did nothing more than shut themselves up. A prison similar to mine, guarded by watchers that mistook madness for virtue. Oh, thank you, Illy. I really appreciate that. I always wanted to be a voice actor as a kid. I wish I could do it. But I guess I could settle for at least bringing some smiles to your guys' faces by doing voices for you. There were so many corpses. The river itself was teeming with floating bodies. It took a few charitable souls to butcher the puffy, disgusting, and purulent flesh. Did their depravity come from this ungrateful task? Or did I just flesh out what was lying deep in their hearts, the plea for putrid flesh? Curse therapist. Serums and decoctions filled my body like a morbid cornucopia. Each injection became more painful, a violent burn scorching my skin and flesh. Now that my executioners have joined my legions, I sneer quietly in the shadows. Maybe all this suffering was necessary after all. Yeah, unique New York is the worst. The worst. All right, so now you want me to try it at a German accent? So I have to rub my eyes for a moment. Okay. I could hear them again and again. It never stopped. Whenever I closed my eyes, they were there, nibbling my bones, slicing into my marrow like a macabre feast. Was it the fever that made me delirious? However, every time I woke up, I saw monstrous footprints in the wet clay. Happy arrows? Or was that just too offensive? Okay. So we got our inner void. Our girls are pretty damaged. Gertrude leveled up, so let's get her Shadow Round. Because that's Shadow Round is basically an ability that you set her to do it, and if anybody attacks the same target, or if anybody attacks a target, she shoots them as well. So it's a really cool way to rack up damage because it doesn't use action points. Well, Fuzzball, the world kind of went to hell, and the child had a very unfortunate setup prior to that. So there was a great deal of tragedy involved. Definitely not comparable, but still pretty sad. Oh no, pencil lead broke. Okay, so I have some bad news, everyone. I'm too tired to be offended anyway. I'm sorry. Uh, we now probably need to heal some of our girls. So we're confronted with some hard choices here. It's time to start sacrificing. So we've got Ethel and Gertrude. Do we want to keep Ethel around? Who knows? I kind of want to sacrifice Mercy to heal Belle, because I think Belle is a bit better than Mercy. Are their lives going up by itself? Do you mean like their levels? Or I'm sorry, I just don't really understand, Illy. So I think I'm going to sacrifice Mercy to heal Belle. So we're going to click the sacrifice button. And then we're going to select a daughter in the form of Belle. And we press sacrifice. And there goes poor Mercy, but Belle has
Her
been rejuvenated,
sacrifice
renewed.
births another hope.
Yeah, they don't heal by themselves. If that's what you were asking, no. The only way to heal the daughters is we have to sacrifice other daughters of equal or higher level to be able to heal them. Oh, cool. I answered just before reading. I am ahead of the game. So now that we've sacrificed Mercy, Belle now has this trait called a Part of Mercy. So her health is permanently increased by 395 points, and she gains push resistance of 1% because a remnant of mercy lives on in her sister. So there we go. So now Belle's back and ready for action. I think it's time that we need to summon another
Give
couple
life
daughters.
to our daughters.
I'm sorry, I don't remember the list of names. Does anyone have any names they'd like to
Please,
throw out right
guide
now?
her well.
Oh, well, thank you, Fuzzball. Thank you so much for coming and enjoying it. You were awesome. Have a great night. But yeah, if anybody has any ideas for names, please feel free to let me know. And we can start making some custom names here. We already had Mildred, Gertrude, and Ethel. Do we want a different theme or do we want more old-timey names? Like, all right, we got Goblin 1. Sorry, Candide, you are Goblin 1. Okay, well, if Goblin 1 and the next daughter is going to be Gunther. And we're going to make this one a shield bearer. Poor
Now,
Goblin 1 is likely going to
unleash
give
her
her
on
life.
any who stand
Give
in
her
her
life
way.
for her other team. And Germinate.
Give
Sorry, Hope.
life to
You
our
are now
daughters.
Gunther. I can't do the umlaut. I'm sorry. Sorry, Eros. And we'll make her another Blade Master. So the good news
Now,
is, when
unleash her
we
on
start
any
beating
who stand
bosses,
in her
we'll
way.
gain tokens that allow us to permanently increase the levels of our daughters going forward. So, like, whenever we make new daughters or we uh, uh, like are resurrecting daughters and stuff, they'll be a higher level than what they currently are. Unfortunately, you got to beat the first. Excuse me, you got to beat the first boss first for that. So we're gonna have a bit of a grind up until then. Um, so I noticed that it is 9:24 currently. I did have proposed on my schedule to play Hades at 9:30 to 10:30. Uh, if people would like me to do that, please let me know. Or if you'd prefer to keep playing some Othercide, then also let me know that. It's either way. I'm easy. I love both of these games. I don't want to do that possible hunt, so we're going to go to the next day. This is where we find
A
out
new
who the boss
challenge
is.
beckons.
Look at him. He's so majestic.
Cut deeper. Deeper still? The answer hides, buried in the flesh. Life unworthy of life feeds our inquiry. What we do is a mercy to the world. A mercy.
I don't think that's a mercy to the world. I think Mercy was a girl in my team who had to get
What
sacrificed
will
to
you
heal
remember
Belle.
now?
Well, if nobody really has any thoughts about it, then the advantage that this has over Hades is it's much easier for me to be able to uh, keep chatting with you guys because since it's turn based and stuff, rather than action packed, I can pay more attention to my phone to make sure I'm kind of staying up to date on chat. So I think if people are okay with it, then I'm just going to keep playing some more Othercide for the rest of the stream. And Renaissance level shit. Well, I color me impressed. I expect very great things from you, Yeti. And if you disappoint, there will be punishments. All right, so Inner Void. So we got a new remembrance now because
Remember,
we've gone deeper in. The corroded scissors. A pair of partially rusted scissors. The darkened hue blends with the old blood staining the blade tips. And if we choose to cash this in, we can be able to get a resurrect. Michelangelo would be jelly. Okay, yeah, please feel free to DM it to me on Discord. I'll make at the end of tonight after the stream. I'll make a Discord and I'll post it on my Twitter and in my Twitch. And so if anybody would like to join it, please feel free to. And I'll of course be advertising it again when I stream on Wednesday. So you will have multiple opportunities, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's see what our synapses are this time. Wow, this is awful. We have hunt impossible, survival impossible, hunt hard. Ugh. This is going to be pretty brutal, guys. I think I'm actually going to have to try and see if any of my memories are going to be good buffs right now, because I do not like the looks of this. Increases. So when you attach a memory, it gives you a given buff, and it costs a certain number of vitae. So most normal things cost 100. Some of them will cost 150, and some really expensive ones will cost 200. But those ones are real good. Best RNG. I would love to see Yuko in a maid or nurse outfit. That would be quite choice. All right, so we can increase the skill by 20%. I think we're going to go with that because she already does 820 damage, so increasing it by 20% is huge. Yeah, Illy, this is like that beast mode RNG, real heart of the cards moment when everything is bad. Let's see if I can pull an Exodia out of this. All right. Wow, whatever happened to Michelangelo being jealous? Renaissance art level. Now you're saying you're garbage? I feel misled. Yeti with the bamboozle. You know what? This is a good time to put Goblin 1 to the test. And I still want a Soul Singer around, but I'm going to actually bring in Gertrude. We're mixing it up here, guys. We got people from all across the name spectrum. Your self-doubt kicked in as you finished? Well, I guess it's probably the best place to doubt yourself.
Before the end. A wretched stench to mark a vile horror.
All right, so what do we got here? Oh, we have a hunter. Ugh. So we got 2 therapists down here. And then we've got the hunter up here. Hunters are very scary. They are very big. They have a leap ability, so they can just move all the way the heck across the map. And then they have this delayed action where they do a massive AoE damage to everyone around them. So hunters are some bad news. They also have a ton of hit points. Oops. I always forget that escape doesn't get me out of that. So we're going to try and avoid the hunter, take out the therapist first. Whoa, Illy, don't talk about my daughters like that. It's not like they're slaves who just get used and replaced. It's they're just trying to preserve humanity through any means necessary, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. You should be jealous of their dedication. I like to think of them more as memory Pokemon. Also, just as an FYI for the future, one of the games that I want to pick up and hopefully stream at some point
Impressive.
is Fate Extella Extra Link. Because if there's one thing you should know about me is that I love Fate. And when I found out there was a Dynasty Warriors game of Fate, I was basically fully committed at start. Because this game lets me get my... that game basically lets me play as my number one boy, Astolfo. And that's all I really want in this world, is more Astolfo in my life. Okay, well, if you're not trying to save my daughters anyway, then I guess it's okay. We don't need to give you the PR version of it then.
You can't stop progress. The cure will be found.
I am going to stop progress. Heck, progress.
Bleed them dry.
I will be sure to check it after the stream, Yeti. I'm not gonna lie, pretty excited at seeing this Turvy fan art. You know it's 100% gonna go on Twitter, right? Right? Are you prepared to have the world see your glorious fan art? This thing that makes Michelangelo jealous? Will I cringe or will I smile? Because there is a thin line in my world between the two. Is the hunter, like, not coming after me? Oh, nope, he is. He's just moving slowly. We will continue to allow him to do that. Where's the bad guy spawning? Back here. Oh, it's another hunter! Yay! That is terrifying.
It will reap what suffering.
But yeah, Yeti, I would love to post it to show it off if you want, but I won't do it if you don't want me to, if you're not proud of your Renaissance work. Alright, time to start that DACA. I'm getting like Left 4 Dead 2 flashbacks here. We got this hunter party. Huh. Alright, so I think I can kill him using Bell. But I think I'm going to have to hurt Gertrude to do it. So we're going to do that. And then we'll enter. Alright, Goblin 1. Charge! Yeah, it has a lot of Bloodborne kind of feels to it. I think I described it to somebody it was like Bloodborne XCOM, basically. Yeah, I haven't played the new thing they added for Left 4 Dead 2. I haven't played Left 4 Dead 2 since I think like 2014. It's been a long time. I kind of settled my Left 4 Dead cravings with I'm really into Vermintide. So I played Vermintide 1 and Vermintide 2. And so if people ever interested in playing Vermintide 2 as like a community thing, let me know, because I'm 100% down for that. I love Vermintide 2. And then, because I'm really into Warhammer, I know we will say, an uncomfortable amount of information about Warhammer 40k. So, if it has Warhammer in the name, I'm basically all in on it. So, just be warned. I'm really excited for when Darktide comes out this year, because it's 40k Vermintide, which is literally the best of both worlds. I never played Bloodborne. I saw it, like I watched like one of my friends play. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Eek. Eek. Well, that's bad. I don't know if I can interrupt that ability. I never played Bloodborne, though. I can't do Souls games because, A, I'm not good at them. I'm, in fact, very bad at them. And then B, I get really mad about a game where I just constantly lose. So Souls games kind of hurt me. Oh yeah, I have Warhammer 2. I have like 600 hours of Warhammer 2. I've played every faction, beaten it at every faction. Um, I love the Skaven. The Skaven are my favorite Warhammer race. Um, so I was actually tempted as one of the days to maybe do a Warhammer 2 playthrough as Ikit Claw, the Skaven mad scientist who allows you to drop nuclear bombs on people, because it's amazing. Um, all right, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna have Gertrude do a little snip to see if she can block this flailing limbs. Otherwise, this is really gonna hurt. Oh, she can. Hot damn. Gertrude really saved the day there. And slam. And lunge. Oh, the rat people are my life. And I play this role-playing game with Yuko called Manhunter, and in it, it's like a sci-fi kind of mercenary kind of thing, and um, in it, one of my characters is a Skaven mad scientist named Skrin Weirdzik, and I do a hilarious voice for him that makes everyone laugh. I never played Code Vein.
From one nightmare,
I feel like I've heard of it, but I do not know it off the top of my head. Oh, she is also aware. Codex! Codex time! The Hunter. Time for more dramatic reading. Had I become a monster? My nightmares seemed so real. I could no longer distinguish truth from falsehood. Consciousness, unconsciousness, everything was mixed up in a whirlwind of violence and anger. I wanted to destroy everything, just as much as I wanted to cry. Let's see if I can read this Eros German. Ratten Menschen sind ungezeifer. Well, anime Dark Souls sounds a lot better, and magic blood is obviously better than normal blood. That's why I went for Magic Death Knight over just Knight. Oop, oh, geez, I clicked something without even reading. Yeah, usually what I do is I'm really into strategy games. So I have a lot of strategy games. And then I also do a lot of RPGs, less open world ones because I'm horrible at feeling overwhelmed in open world games. But because I love you all so much, I am going to put myself through it so you can take entertainment from watching me play Skyrim and become totally overwhelmed shouting at some heckin' rude dragons. Um, in addition to that, I also play War Thunder poorly, mind you, but I do play it. And I'm trying to think what else. I have World of Warcraft, but I haven't played that in a while. I used to do Classic really hardcore. IE is pronounced I and not EI. So, Ratten Menschen und Gaziefer. Or Gaziefer? No, it's Gaziefer. Yeah, Gaziefer. Well, Illy, hopefully you'll enjoy watching me play Skyrim. And, it could be like we're playing it together. Alright, so what do we got going on? Well, we're going to get pretty close to this boss, and we're probably going to die because we're not very good, unfortunately. Can sing... Ooh. I'm not going to say I'm going to make you in voice chat one day do that, but it's 100% happening. Because I want to hear this full intro song to Skyrim as sang by Yeti. Yeah, I knew the rotten ancient part. I just didn't know the Ungezeife. So let's see. We got this. We got plenty of girls up. Ugh, Ethel is wounded. Could sacrifice, but I don't wanna. I don't think Ethel's really worth it. No offense, Ethel. But let's try and jump into a synapse. Let's try another rescue. Do. I will definitely do. Okay. Well, bring back Belle. Yeah, bring back Belle. We will bring back Gertrude. And we'll bring back Goblin 1. Hopefully they do better this time than poor Mildred. Remember after the stream to
You
please
wouldn't
pour
want
one
your
out for
scalpel
Mildred.
to slip into innocent flesh.
To be clear, the surgeon is a creeper. But surprisingly, not the creeperest of all the
As
bosses
plague
here.
ravaged the city, they trapped the healthy within.
Alright. So we got a bunch of bad guys. She's gonna get whacked a couple times if I move her up. If I move her up there, she's gonna get whacked a bunch. But I kinda gotta move her a bit. It's so hard because it messes with her initiative a lot, but you kinda need to get ahead of it because as more enemies spawn, you're just kinda screwed if your initiative drags on too long. More German from Arrows. Deutschland, mein Herz und mein Herz in Flammen. Will dich lieben und verdammen. Deutschland, mein Herz in Flammen. Will dich lieben und verdammen. I think that's what it is. Listen to Rammstein. I haven't heard Rammstein in so long. That was my jam when I was in high school. When I was a spunky goth kid. Then I became a spunky goth adult. So we're gonna go right down this lane. It's gonna get real brutal in here. We're gonna have to get real feisty. I have her go intercepting round. Because the problem is, if we can't get past any of these synapses, we just lose. We're gonna lose this run, and I'd rather not lose the run until we fight the boss. So we're gonna try and get real hyphy on this wifey.
The new shift has just arrived.
Do. Got him.
Striking.
Alright, Bright Soul. You keep on floating by. Keep on floating. I like that she has a trail of sparkles.
The doctor has sent a new atrocity.
Uh-oh. I do not like the doctor sending more atrocities after me. I feel like I have sufficient level of atrocities to deal with. I cannot have a conversation in German. I appreciate the sentiment, but I can do my best to pronounce things in German, but I cannot really carry a conversation in it. All I really oh no, Belle, no! Oh, poor Belle. She is in a rough place.
Impressive.
Yeah, all I really remember how to say in German is "Was bist du sagen?" And of course I know "was." I always say that to people when I'm asking them what. Oh, I know Belle. Poor Belle. She's got 26 hit points left. If somebody sneezes at her angrily, she's gonna die. Well, Yeti, I'm sorry, your pronunciation is so good at German. I'm gonna do my best to keep Belle alive, Illy.
No mercy.
Okay. We took down the guy who was gonna shoot the Bright Soul at least. Progress is being made. We're gonna have Gertrude do another snip again. And since she's already bursting, we might as well just run her anyway. Was bist du sagen? I'm sorry, I alarm you such. You know what's funny, Yeti? When I was in law school, I actually played a German character in one of our musicals, and as a part of what I had to do was I had to read that word as the longest word in German. So I am aware of that. It's been years since I pronounced it, but I do know the word. It's like a law relating to like meat and like purity or something, I think. All right, we got the Bright Soul out of here. So that's at least. Ugh, more bad guys. We don't believe in speed limits in this household. Unless, of course, you're driving on the actual road. In that case, you should follow all laws. Oh, Gertrude! No! Oh, I'm sorry, guys. These ladies are getting real roughed up. Yeah, it's been a long time since I pronounced that word. All right. Can we get in? Nope. We can get right up to the edge. All right, Goblin 1. No, Belle, no! I'm sorry, guys. Oh no, Belle's gone. Maybe she went to Brazil. Who knows? No, not the hunter. Leave Goblin 1 alone.
Another terror to haunt us.
Bleed them dry.
No, Gertrude! Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Things are getting real rough here, guys. So, suffice to say, this is a lot of bad guys. This is a lot of bad guys. I think Goblin 1 will survive. Goblin 1 is shockingly the only survivor of this mission. Hi, Angels the Great, or it's either Angles the Great or Angels the Great. I don't know. Please feel free to let me know. But yeah, unfortunately, Angles. Well, I'm glad you got to come see this. Unfortunately, you got to see 2 of my daughters die. So I hope it's a mixed bag and you feel conflicted emotions right now. Goblin supremacy.
Come what may, we will slow suffering's progress.
Any goblin you can walk away from. I'm actually going to do the sacrifice. We're going to bring back Belle. I don't want to see Belle gone.
Together, you are stronger.
This one's for Belle. We're going to resurrect her.
Remember their courage.
No Brazil for you. You're being brought out of retirement. All right, we got her. She's back in black. You know, this is kind of funny as the takeaway that Goblin 1 got. Oh, well, thank you for coming by, Schmendrick. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate the support. Hopefully you can come again and see another one of my streams. But yeah, have a good night. But I find it funny that she got arrogant as the one person who survived that mission. Her takeaway was, yeah, I'm good. I'm probably too good. So she's going to get an XP reduction going forward, but she does a lot more damage with her criticals. So taking no damage deceived her. She no longer wants to learn. Oh, thank you, Schmendrick. I really appreciate it. All right. Did we unlock anything else cool? No, we did not.
Remember.
So we got Belle back. Now level 4. Oh, she lost her buff. Because, the dying thing. Ugh. We're going to give her drill again. Alright, so we got Goblin 1 is okay. Providence is pretty messed up. Should probably make another. Oops, I don't want to resurrect.
Remember their courage.
Germinate. Alright, who has another name here for another intrepid daughter?
To our daughters.
We have Gunther still. Just for arrows, we're going to call her Hans. Oh, hi, JKC or JKY. Thank you for coming. We're going to go with another Soul Singer. I'm really happy that you decided to come watch me.
On any who stand in her way.
Just to be clear for everybody, I have had a blast doing this so far tonight, and it's so amazing that you guys have come out here and that you're enjoying this, and that I've been able to show you guys Othercide, which is a great game, and I highly recommend you buying it if it's on sale or anything, or if you just really feel the spirit overtake you and you want to purchase it at full price, more power to you. It is an awesome game, and I love it. Hopefully going forward, you can continue to watch my adventures here. So let's try and do another mission. All right, Eros. Next girl is going to be Erica. So we're going to go the next day.
Suffering sends monsters. We will send our daughters.
Whew. Penance will not give any vitae, but your daughters will gain a lot of experience. Interesting. Oops, I did not mean to click that. Okay. Cranberries. So, we're going to try some penance. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Let me think about this for a second. We're right before the boss. I'd really hate to lose my daughters. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to pass on penance. I'm going to take this real safe. I want to at least show you guys what the boss is like this first stream, because we will very likely die. So we're going to try and do our best. Do I want Providence? No, I'd rather level Hans. Auf der Heide, Blut ein kleines Blümelein und Das heißt Erika.
The plague will bleed this city until we cut the cure from that cursed child.
Okay, so we got 6 enemies. We got a therapist, a guard, 2 scavengers, and oop, there's a hunter. There's that hunter gang, and a plague doctor. Which would be the easier side to go? Since this is the same map we played before, I think it is better to go this way. And oh, ow. Pulled my own hair. Alright. Shoot him. Dodge twice? Are you kidding me? This is malarkey. Straight malarkey. I do not appreciate this tomfoolery or this hijinks. Well, Hans, you're not off to a great start. I'm not terribly impressed. Alright, so we got the doctor moving in. We got the therapist coming up. Here come the scavengers. Thankfully, they didn't make a beeline for Hans. I saw that ludicrous display last night. The problem with the scavengers is they just try to walk it in.
Flawless.
Excellent. Great work, lady. We're going to slam him. Alright, Bill. Here we go. Lightning strike right in the back. Ooh, 747 damage. Nice. We'll show him the 747 of death. Ah! She even gets a cutscene. That's how good of a kill it was. No, you leave Belle alone. She just came back from the dead. So rude. So rude. Gotta shoot him in the back.
Flawless.
Cause that's the attack. Daka daka daka.
Progress has its setbacks.
I feel like that's such a flex cutscene. She holds the gun up to her face like, yeah, what of it? Easy kills, easy days. The crawly lady remove it. I don't know what that means. That hunter is so scary. But we will not be perturbed. You cannot crush hope. Oh, cool. The Red Mother, like, materialized behind her as she does the cut. Yeah, we're going all in on this. I don't like this guy.
A bitter victory.
What crawling bitch on the map? Were you talking about the scavengers?
Memories of another life. Guard them well.
Oh, I got a memory. Nice. Yeah, it's probably the scavenger that you're talking about. Hans and her little Luger pistols. Correct. All right, so we're going all in on these shots. Everything into the Plague Doctor.
I revel in her strength.
Yeah, nice work, Hans.
Let her flourish.
Leveled up.
It is done.
All right, so we're going to see what memories we unlocked. And if any of them are new. Apparently not. But yeah, this is like some of the cool artwork and stuff in it. Different periods in her life. And then there's events that happen that are also related to stuff from the story. Okay, well, I really appreciate you coming by and paying active attention, Ellie. I totally understand the lurk. I'm just happy you're here. Thank you so much for coming out to support me. Okay, so we're going to go to the daughter overview. We're going to level up Hans. We shall give us a shadow round. And let's go to the final day.
Our daughters ache to battle the next nightmare.
Okay, so this time we have to fight the boss. So we're going to now let's see what this is. A Schwäbischer? Oh, like from Schwabia? Schwäbischer accent. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Mine is just generic German accent, most likely gleamed from lots of Call of Duty and movies fighting Nazis. So we need to equip some memories because there's I'm not going to say there's no chance, but there's a very high chance that we're going to die in this boss fight. A, because I don't really remember the mechanics of it. And B, because this is our first run and we don't have very many buffs in our favor. I just want to keep all of your expectations in check. Alright, so Goblin 3. Let's see what we can do here. We got one of each. So I gave Belle the damage boost. Yeah, I get that it's a German dialect. I don't know the difference. Alright, we got Hans. Does she do anything good? We're gonna increase her flat damage. Hopefully that'll help. Shadow round. I think this will come into play. Will it? I don't remember. Schweißbisch. I know intercepting round will, so we're gonna do that at least. And are those all of our memories that we have? Oh, we still have Witch, so we're gonna increase the crit chance of Witch. And so Goblin 1. Can't do Guardian. Alright guys, I think we're ready to hop into the boss fight.
They will fall, or we will.
I think it's gonna be us who falls. But this is our crack team. This is Belle, Goblin 1, and Hans. Oh, welcome back. You just came in time for us to fight the boss.
You wouldn't want my scalpel to slip into innocent flesh. Our research must continue.
All right.
A monument to terror. They destroyed a child and called it mercy.
I'm not gonna lie, that guy looks like kind of a badass. The Schwaben don't sprechen, they schwätzen. Alright. So, if I recall, we'll just double check him. So, he's got special abilities. He's got his giant scissors. So that's an AoE attack. He summons the caretakers, who are these random bad guys around the map. And he has the ability... Oh, and then he changes... So, oh yeah, there's another thing in this game. There's phases. So, every boss has different phases that they go through as you beat them up. And some of them they change pretty dramatically. This is the one thing I will say my years of playing World of Warcraft did prepare me for, was boss phases. So there will come a point where we gotta throw down more dots. Alright. So the caretakers, they do like a buff, I think, or they heal the main guy. Devotion. Deals up to 200... Oh yeah, so they blast a daughter, and yeah, they buff the surgeon. So we want to kill the caretakers as well as the surgeon. So we're going to try and move into position. Try and blast the caretaker over here. I think we gotta stop. Yeah, I don't remember how conservatively I'm supposed to play this battle against the caretakers, so we might be making some very bad calls here. Yeah, it's not like Bloodborne. There aren't 10 phases of bad guys. There's significantly less. I think the most phases I dealt with was like 3 in a boss fight. Oh yeah, they keep buffing him. Armor by 500? That's just dumb. Dumb. So the way it works is that armor buff will drop every turn, but they can just make it... As long as there's caretakers up, they're going to keep making it skyrocket. So I have to kill off enough caretakers that I can get to the point, because he can only replenish 1 a turn. And so if I can kill off enough of them, it will make it so he can't get enough buffs. And I can actually be able to do something against him instead of just pretending to play this game. But they also surround him, which is unfortunate. I love the map design in this game. It's like all the scalpels and scissors and stuff sticking out of the ground for the surgeon. It's super cool.
Clean cut.
Alright, so he's likely gonna go before her. So let's try and get here, do intercepting round to try and block his attack when he does it, and enter. You know, Eros, Hans is really the backbone of this team. Without Hans, we are nothing, and without us, Hans is nothing. And the buffs come. Big bully buffs. Alright, so we move here. Lightning strike. And she's done. You love that I do a German accent whenever I do anything with Hans.
Another terror to haunt us.
No, Belle. Okay, so how are we going to do this? I think... Okay, I think I need to move behind him and give some initiative control. Because I can't hurt him right now because his armor's too high. But I can totally mess up his initiative. So I'm going to focus on that. Hopefully Belle doesn't die, because without Belle, this fight's kind of a lost cause. Alright, so here is brilliant Obsidia plan. So first Hans is going to shoot the caretaker. And then she is going to shoot the caretaker again. She's going to kill the caretaker.
How foolish my fears.
Because, forget the caretaker, we are only here for victory. Then she's going to activate the intercepting round. And then she will activate she does the shadow round. He will still have the buff, so it's not pointful. So that is the end of Hans. I was wondering if you were just building up to make that joke about the Flammenwerfen. Alright, so the good news is we're going to kill off the rest of the caretakers, but... Oh, nope, Belle. Poor Belle. We're going to kill off the rest of the caretakers this turn, but we're pretty messed up to actually take down the surgeon himself. Because... maybe I can play this a little shifty. Let's see if I can be a little shifty here. Oh, that's not going to work. My shiftiness failed. Shiftiness was a mistake. I needed slightly more action points. That's unfortunate. So she's going to activate this because it has a 2-square AoE. Schädenkugel. Schädenkugel? She will activate the Schädenkugel. We're going to continue to slam-a-jam. Black Betty, slam-a-jam. And we're going to move here so I can kill off this guy. Yeah, so I can kill off him.
You can't stop progress. The cure will be found.
Okay, well, thank you for being active, Yeti. Thank you for continuing to stick around, even if you're lurking. I still appreciate everybody who's in my stream, no matter what. Take care of all your things. Go have some tea. Yay, we damaged him. So we can at least walk away from this fight knowing we did some damage. Ugh, that buff. Stupid buff. Alright, Hans. Fucking tea. I don't know what you British people do. You can drink tea at any time of day.
The cure will be found.
I'm pretty sure you're powered by tea. Oh, geez, he's activated his second form. I'm not gonna say I'm super scared, but I'm gonna say I'm pretty darn scared. Oh no, I'm alone. Yay! Welcome back, Illy. You came back just in time for the boss fight. We just finished the first phase of him, so now we're on the second phase. I do imagine your bed is a bathtub full of tea with a big Union Jack sticking out of it as the blanket. He is proceeding to self-buff himself. Oof, 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 poor Goblin 1. I am in a troublesome situation. But we're doing the best we can, Illy. I did not see that one coming. Oh, geez. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna say mistakes were made, but, oh god, it's just getting worse. Hans! No, Hans! Oh, geez. No, Brainbuster, why did you encourage me? But, well, thank you for being here, Brainbuster. You showed up just in time to watch me die. Clearly no connection. If it makes you feel better, Illy, all of the bosses are like that.
Our epitaph. Alas, suffering is born. We failed the child. We have lost. I have nothing more to give. So we begin again.
Well, cranberries. This at least tells us how well we did. We had 10 daughters. We sacrificed one of them. 9 of them died by us losing the run. And we killed 37 enemies. And we did save a bright soul. We saved 2 bright souls. So think about it this way. We made it this far, and 2 people were able to spread a little more hope in the world. Oh, well, thank you for at least lurking since the start, Brainbuster. I appreciate you being here. Nein, Soldat gefallen. Ich wiederhole, Soldat ist gefallen.
Remember.
Okay, so since that was our first run, our first recollection, we now get the opportunity to buy some buffs for our next run. So we're going to do that. We're going to buy damaged left eyeball. I realized that I did not read this one the first time around, so. Torn from its socket, this eyeball stares infinitely into nothingness. Surrounding the pupil is a golden halo that oozes blood from its myriad of gashes. Wow, way to lawyer it, jeez. Yeah, maybe we saved one, and we sacrificed one to help save others. There was saving all around. And big heart to you too, Brainbuster. So we're going to buy all the upgrades we can, which unfortunately isn't very much right now, but we'll get more as we do more runs. So we go from 1897 to 1929. Gotcha. I get it. It's like a fallen soldier. It makes sense. He's gefallen. All right, so we got our girls. Oh, we do have a new Codex entry now that we've actually faced the surgeon. You guys get to see what the surgeon looked like when he was alive. Guess what? He looks like a creeper. First, I'm going to see if the caretaker... Yep, the caretakers are a separate one. They were circling me, and I sensed their inquisitive eyes behind their beaked masks. Despite my torpor, I knew it. They had come to the theater to view the play taking place on my raw skin. The scissors cut me apart. And the surgeon. This is the surgeon IRL. Human madness knows no limit, as long as it has a cause to feed on. The surgeon was convinced of the righteousness of his own actions, and would have been able to use logic to justify any of the deadly drugs he injected into the helpless child. Blinded by his thirst for success, his science still could not save him from disgrace. Now corrupted to a substantive marrow, the surgeon is nothing more than an empty shell of harmful convictions steeped in hatred. Aw, Obsidian voice actor. Pog? Pog? Yes, please. Oh, well, thank you so much, Fail, for coming by. I'm glad you had fun. I really appreciate you coming by. Please feel free to come by again. All right. Got any more memories? No.
Remember.
So I'm going to make a bold play. Since we're back here, I know that Mildred was a crowd favorite, but I'm going to make the call that we're going to bring back Belle.
Remember their
She's
courage.
She is the smash mouth of our team. She gets knocked down, but you're never going to keep her down because she gets back up again. Hey, I am not going to kink shame you. You could say bye, master, to whoever you want. This is a very friendly stream. We do not care if you say bye, master, or bye, daddy, or bye, mommy. That is your decision. Yeah, I know everybody wanted Mildred or Gertrude, but we're bringing back Belle this
Remember
time.
their courage.
And then so that's a pretty good team up. But it is unfortunately getting kind of late, so we are. How long are you planning to stream on? I am planning to stream for. I was actually just about to wrap this session up. Normally, going forward, the way my schedule is going to be 7:30 to 10:30s on Mondays, 6:30 to 9:30 on Wednesdays and Fridays. Currently, the schedule is doing Othercide today, um, and then on Wednesday doing Hearts of Iron, uh, and with the Old World Waifus mod for Fallout, and then Friday is going to be Skyrim. If people have suggestions of other games they'd like to see me play, or anything else that they think would be fun to add to the stream or they would like me to do, please feel free to let me know. I really appreciate all of you guys for coming out to my stream. I I I cannot overstate uh, how nervous I was going into this, and you all have been fantastic and supportive. And I know that there is a high threat level to my cuddles and to my hugs. Um, but I'd like you to know that I'm sending you all a nice big hug and lots of cuddles across this stream so that you all can have a wonderful night. And thank you so much for my first stream, and hopefully it'll be the first of many. So, see you again soon. Please feel free to contact me on my Twitter. That's posted in my Twitch information. Please feel free to follow me if you haven't followed me already on Twitch, and I'll work on setting up a Discord, and then you guys can have even more contact with me. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming, and I love you all. Have a great night.